Give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out of toiling in his truth. I'm Bathaka Math Jim as Dallas. I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. I think I'm going to entitle this, The Most High Wasn't About the Heathen Then, Neither is His Son Now. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai ain't about the heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the likes of Vocab Malone, these Christians and the unlearned, that have no idea what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the heathen are not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And what inspired or sparked this lesson was I was asked a question, what is the dogs talking about in Matthew the 15th chapter? Which I'll address that. But, at the end of the day, it's all talking about Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? And just really quick, for a quick brief synopsis, to go into it and go over it real quick. Let's just get it. Let's just go ahead and get it. Let's get into it. This is Matthew the 15th chapter. And this is dealing with the Canaanite woman. And people will run here talking about, see, it's a Canaanite woman. It's talking about, the Gentiles, which that's confusion, man. As a matter of fact, before I go here, let me get that in 1 Corinthians. It's like here, 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. That's a bunch of confusion, man. This 1 Corinthians chapter 14, I'm jump down to verse 33, and it reads, "For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." And we know that the saints are, man, pursuant to Psalms 50 and 5, Psalms 148 and verse 14, Psalms 149, verse 1 and 2. It's the Israelites, man, which are his chosen people, pursuant to Isaiah, the 44th chapter and verse 1, man. He has a chosen nation of people. He has a chosen everything. You can read in the Apocrypha, I believe it's in Second Esdras. You can read in the Apocrypha in Second Esdras, and it goes into it. He has a particular chosen flower, chosen land, chosen cattle, and chosen people. The Lord chose, man. So he has a chosen people, the Israelites, and that's what he's all about, man. He made promises to those to that nation of people and blessings, man, pursuant to Romans the 9th chapter. All of those things are going to be fulfilled, man. The adoption back, everything, the covenants, the promises, everything. The law, the service of the Most High, everything is to those people pursuant to Romans the 9th chapter, man. So it's all about the Israelites, and then you got these camps out here, all these some of the camps, going off on things, but people like Vocab Malone, the Christians, the unlearned that don't know what the hell they're talking about, trying to save the heathen, man, like the heathen have a place in this thing. They don't have a place in this thing, man. And they try to run this particular scriptures, to try to make that point, but they're wrong, man. So let's just go back to Matthew 15 real quick and deal with the Canaanite woman. I did a lesson not too long ago on this, so I'm just going to briefly touch into it, go into it real quick. This is Matthew 15 and 22. "And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil," which is the so-called Canaanite woman, which we know is actually an Israelite woman, a foreigner, a Gentile foreigner. And she's speaking to Yahushua. And verse 23, "But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us." Verse 24, here's a main point that proves, which of course the Lord set this thing up as a snare, a stumbling block. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the discernment, the eye salve, if the Lord's not dealing with you, you're not going to understand these things. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of those trip ups right here, Matthew 15 and 24. "But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So a person, these unlearned, these Christians, the heathen nation, they'll try to go here and say, see, if he's not sent for only the house of the lost sheep of the house of Israel, but he healed the Canaanite woman's daughter, he's dealing with the Gentiles. No, wrong, man. that proves that he's not dealing with the Gentiles and that she was an Israelite. But we'll go deeper. We'll go deeper. We'll take it further and make improve and make the point. But it says, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and deal with that. Let's go to Mark, the 7th chapter, which is the same account. Like I said, I did a lesson not too long ago on this. Mark 7:26. The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation, and she besought him that would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. Same account, but over there she's been called a Canaanite woman. Here she's being called a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation. So let's go into this word real quick. I'm gonna try to make this quick. Like I said, we've done lessons on these. This word Greek right here is G1674, and it's Hellenes.
Strong's G1674, Hellenes.
And of course, us in the know, we know that there was a Hellenization period, which really not only of the Israelites, but primarily that's what this is all about. So that's what we're dealing with, is a Hellenization period of the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like in these times, the Hellenization of the Israelites in these times. Back then, it was the Greek. During the time of Alexander the Greek, and of course, his those wicked men after his death took over. Evils multiplied on the earth, and out of that, a wicked seed, Antiochus, man, or Antiochus. Potato, tomato. So those who know, if you know him by Antiochus, cool. If you know him by Antiochus, cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same dude. And he implemented what they're trying to do now, that one world order, man, where everything comes together, and basically the Israelites during that time, they couldn't keep their customs, their ways, they had to be like the heathen, like the Greeks, and if you try to keep your customs, you will put to death, man. You know what I'm saying? So that became the Hellenistic period, man, because over a dispensation of time, that the customs are not being kept, and you having to teach your kids the ways of the Gentiles because you can't keep your own customs. Then they grow up and have kids, and they're going to teach them what they know, which is the ways of the Gentiles, and so on and so forth. Eventually, it becomes obsolete. It's like, it's gone now. You know what I'm saying? That's been displaced. It's no longer, and that's basically what happened. The Hellenization period, man, and it happened in these times as well. The Americanization period, back then was the Hellenization, Greeks. Now it's the Americanization. We became Americans in this time. Same thing. No new thing under the sun. That which was then is now. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. So it calls her a Greek. And when we go into that word, it says Greek woman, a Gentile woman, not a Jewess, but here's what I want right here. In the definition, it says a Grecian. A Grecian. So that's the point right there. So let's real quick, which I brought this out. We're going to go into Acts, the 6th chapter, and we're going to read verse 1. And it reads, and in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians, which is what she was just called, that same Greek woman who was a Syrophoenician by nation, but she was called a Canaanite woman in Matthew. Same woman though. That's why you have to study, to show thyself approved, man. Rightly dividing the word. So it says, in those days, when the numbers of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. Now I'm gonna go into my Bible, and I'm going to parallel that same verse. And in this particular thing, it's going to parallel with the NIV, which is what I want. And I'm gonna read it. in the NIV. Same Acts the 6th chapter, first verse to the right of the screen. It says, verse 1, in those days, when the number of the disciples was increasing, the Hellenistic Jews, which is those same Grecians, the number of disciples was increasing, the Hellenistic Jews among them complained against the Hebraic Jews. So in the King James Version, it says the Grecians, there was a murmuring or a complaining against the Grecians, Salakia, against the Hebrews. The Hellenistic Jews complained against the Hebraic Jews because their widows were being overlooked or neglected in the King James version in the daily ministration or in the daily distribution of food in the NIV. So that's the Grecians. The Grecians were Hellenistic Jews, man, Israelites. So that woman in Matthew. Let me take this off real quick and then we'll go back. Let's go back now. Matthew the 15th chapter. That woman right here in the 22nd verse. And behold, a Canaanite woman was a Hellenistic Jew. She was an Israelite woman, man. You know, she just resided in the land of Canaan, man. You know, so she went to the Lord, you know, and he ignored her. And then when you continue to read down, he said, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. You know, the heathen don't worship the Lord, man. You know, all these are indicators. These are Israelites. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread. And that word meat basically means it's not right to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And those dogs represent Israelites of the uncircumcision, because this particular thing, which is going into the, you know, what is the dogs talking about? It's talking about this is dealing with the circumcision before the uncircumcision. You know, so he was telling her it is not meet or right to take the children's bread, the circumcision, those as the keepers of the law, and to cast it to the dogs, the uncircumcision, the breakers of the law. You know. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. So, she, you know, hey, that was a good point in faith, you know. So he saw this woman, you know, okay, I feel you. So verse 28, then Yahushua said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. She was an Israelite woman, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's dealing with the circumcision before the uncircumcision. You know what I'm saying? The keepers of the laws before the breakers of the laws. You know, so that's what the whole thing with the dogs is going into, because it's not dealing with actual dogs. I think the person thought that it was actually dealing with actual dogs. Not, you know, when scripture speak of the dogs, you know, in certain scriptures, it's talking about people, which I'll get into that and make that point and prove that, you know. But first, before I do that, like I said, the Lord is not dealing with when Yahushua, of course, in the Malachi, let's get it. Let me just let the scripture speak. In Malachi, the 3rd chapter, what did the Most High Yahweh say? For I am, Malachi 3 and 6, for I am Yahweh, all caps, Lord. That's the name of the Lord, is right there. I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord doesn't change, man. He's the same power then, now as he was then. And his son Yahushua, what did he tell us in Hebrews, the 13th chapter? Let's get that as well. This Hebrews 13 and 8. Yahushua HaMashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever. So in both of these scriptures, these powers don't change, man. You know? And Yahushua tells you in John, the 6th chapter, and verse 38, it's John 6 and 38, for I came down from heaven not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me, the Father's will. Yahushua ain't doing his own thing. Yahushua is doing Yahweh's will. This is red letters. He's speaking here. He's letting you know out of his own mouth, stop lying on me. I didn't come to do my own thing. I came to do the will of him that sent me. And we know the will of the Lord is his people, man. Israel. The chosen nation, you know, he's still about that. He told us in Malachi 3 and 6 that he doesn't change. So he was about his people then. He's still about his people now. He sent his son, and his son had came to do the will of his father. So his father being about his people, his son is about those same people. You know, that's it. There's no changing that. It don't matter how you feel, and they agree. Yahushua agrees with his father. When you read in let's get John the 17th chapter real quick. 17, and I think it's around verse 11, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in there. John 17 and 11. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. Talking about his elect, man. Those, when you read up in verse 9, he said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, you know, but for them that thou hast given me. Talking about the elect, which Yahweh chose those spirits from the foundation of the world. Before he created anything, he created the spirits. You know what I'm saying? And he chose those spirits that was going to be a part of his elect, those predestinated spirits that were going to be for salvation in end times, man. You know, Ephesians the 1st chapter, Romans the 8th chapter goes into those things. So it says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. So we're still here, the elect, Lord willing, of the hopeful elect, hope to be a part of that. Abarat Baba Kasha. And I come to thee, Holy Father, keep thou thine own name, those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one, proving that they're not the same entity, you know, because how are all of us, you know, because he's talking about his elect, those that he prays for. Those men that he's coming back to save pursuant to Matthew 24 and 31, man. You know, he's going to gather his elect from the four winds, man. Proving that scattering as well, man. We were scattered into all nations, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to gather them. He's going to gather his elect. Those are the men that he prays for. Those are the men he's talking about right now, that they may be as one. Now, those are not the same people. They're all different entities. As we are one, because they're two separate entities as well. But they agree. So those men agree with Yahushua, which agrees with the Most High Yahweh, man. So all agree. That's an all one agreement, man. Agreements, rather. You know, and I'm going to jump down to verse 22. I think it makes another point in 22. Verse 22. And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. There it is again. So yeah, it's just talking about they agree, man. You know what I'm saying? So Yahushua agrees with the Yahweh, man. You know, so when Yahweh sent Yahushua, he didn't come. That's why he tells you in John the 6th chapter in verse 38, that he didn't come to do his own will, man. He's in agreement with his father, man. You know what I'm saying? And the father is about his people, man. So again, going back to 1 Corinthians 14 and 33, the Most High is not the author of confusion, man. All of these things are about the Israelites, you know, those Gentiles, those foreigners, all Israel, man. Israel was scattered, you know, Leviticus 20, Deuteronomy 28:64, Leviticus 26 and 33, Hosea 8 and 8. You know what I'm saying? Matthew 24 and 31 that I just quoted, he's going to gather them because they've been scattered. 1 Peter 1 and 1, James 1 and 1, you know, all these different scriptures, John 7 and 35, you know, it's talking about how the Israelites were scattered, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the dealings with these people that would be seemed or deemed to be Gentiles are actually foreigners, Israelites, you know. So real quick, I just want to prove that the dogs are also mean people, man. You know, just to further prove that whole the dog thing. Let's real quick go to Revelation, the 22nd chapter. I'm jump down to verse 14, Salaki. Revelations 22 and 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, which is going into the kingdom of heaven, and may enter in through the gates into the city. That's the coming kingdom of heaven. So those that keep the commandments, you know, that's the children that was speaking of in Matthew, the 15th chapter. But check it, verse 15. For without are dogs and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Without, those that's not going to enter into the kingdom. You know, of course, we know, let's get it straight. They're going to be there. but they're not going to be there like the first fruits, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the Israelites. For without our dogs, man, that's not talking about literal dogs. It's talking about people. As a matter of fact, let's go into this word real quick. Let me see what this word says. It may go into it. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know what it's gonna say. But let's go into it. Let's say it. G2965.
Strong's G2965. Kuon. Kuon.
So kuon. But when you drop down to outline of biblical usage, of course it says a dog. But check this right here. Metaphor: a man of impure mind, an impudent man. And that word impudent just means a person that doesn't give due respect, man. You know? Esau ain't gonna give nobody respect, man, especially you Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? So a man of impure mind, you know what I'm saying? A dog, man, outside of the temple, wicked, profane, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's going into. So it's talking about a man, man, people. So for without our dogs, Esau is that main dog, man. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's profane. He's outside of the temple. Hebrews 12 and 16 and 17 go into that, man. You know? It says, and then he's going to add these other nations and 2/3 of Israel too. Sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie, which these other nations have grabbed a hold of that, and 2/3 of Israel as well, man. They're all of those things. They're into sorcery, witchcraft, you know, whoremongers, they're murderers, they're killing each other, you know, they're idolaters into all manner of idol worship. You know, and they love to make it the lie, man. That day, boy, smooth word. They love lies, man. Jacob don't want to hear the truth. You know, the truth they scoff at, man. You know, this light, the knowledge, man, which is going to get them put to death pursuant to Hosea, the 4th chapter. They're going to reject knowledge, and the Lord is going to reject them, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, that proves the dogs are people, man. It's not talking about actual dogs. So let's get another one real quick in Psalms. About to bring this thing to a close. Psalms 22, and because King David went into it, you know, he was in the spirit of Yahushua. This is Psalms 22, Salakia 16, I believe it is. 22, verse 20. Psalms 22 and verse 16. For dogs have compassed me; the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. There it is, man. We know the wicked is, man. The wicked is Esau, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know. These other nations are wicked, and 2/3 of Israel are wicked as well, man. So all of that, you know what I'm saying? But primarily these Edomites, man. For dogs, and he calls them dogs, man. You know, that's the violent, the wicked. You know, these evil scoffers, scorners. Just, you know, that's what it's talking about, man. Which the same thing happened to Yahushua during the times of his crucifixion, man. You know. He had the same things going on. That's why David, in this particular part of the scriptures, is in the spirit of Yahushua, man. Those things were going to happen to Yahushua in the spirit, man. You know, through the spirit. And it says when you continue to get down to the part where he is the nailing of the hands and the feet, which is coming up. For dogs have compassed me; the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. Boom, there it is. You know. So he was in the spirit of Yahushua, but this, you know, David was talking about the wicked, man, these Edomites, these nations, hell, even his own, man, you know, which Yahushua went through, which we're going through in these times, man. You know, same thing, no new thing under the sun. You know, Ecclesiastes 1, you know, that which was then is now. Ecclesiastes 3, same things over and over, man. We got to take up that the cup, drink of that cup, and carry our cross, man. You know, we got to go through it. Same stuff. But the dogs represent people, man. So let me get one more real quick in Exodus, because the Lord made another example. It's Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7, and it reads, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord hath, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel." So them damn heathen, man. He was making a comparison of the Egyptians and the Israelites. He puts a difference between his people and the heathen nations, and he refers to them as dogs. But shall not a dog move his tongue, man? So you heathen ain't got nothing to say about us, man. You know, don't put us in your mouth, man. You ain't nah. So basically, that's what's going on, man. So yeah, the Most High wasn't about the heathen then, and his son is not about the heathen in these times, man. So hey, I just want to make that point and deal with the question that was asked. So hopefully, the question was answered, and hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. With that, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shah Dawadah, Shalom.